Hello my friends. For those of you who don't know me, my name is JD and I'm a statistician for creative art therapists. I am a board-certified music therapist and statistician with almost 10 years experience in program-level evaluation and research. Today, I want to show you how to use Excel to make data collection and data management easy and useful. There's absolutely no coding or software development necessary for any of this. Here we have an example of some of the useful tools in Excel. These are to give you some ideas on how to build a tool for easy data collection and management. Your needs are going to be completely different and you may need a completely different setup. As I walk you through this example, I want you to ask yourself, what do I need to capture? What design will work best for me? Does the structure need to be around the therapist or the client? What do I need to get out of the data? Asking yourself these questions will give you insight in how you need to structure your own data management tool. The key thing to remember here is that setup is everything. Doing this prep work now will set you free because it will ease your frustrations and free up your time once you start collecting data, because all you'll have to do is copy-paste it into a master database. Here we have a setup to allow therapists to keep track of their time and duties while also allowing for capturing progress in sessions. So let's pretend that you're Janet working in Facility 2, and you had a session with Sammy on June 30th from 9 to 10 a.m. In this session, you worked on fine motor skills through pattern sensory enhancement. Sammy needed a lot of prompts for this, and he didn't have any successful trials. There's also a comment box for you to mark any comments for anything you saw. For example, maybe Sammy needed hand-over-hand instruction. So you can look at that for future sessions and remind yourself of what you need to do. Sammy also worked on attention through drumming, didn't need any prompts, and successfully completed both trials. Finally, Sammy worked on social skills through songwriting, needed only one prompt, and completed a validated scale afterwards. Here I'm showing you that you can collect different types of data. I might not need to collect the number of prompts personally, but that might be something that's important for you, so I wanted to give that as an example. After the session, let's say Janet spent an hour and a half on non-direct patient care for another client. Let's call her Susie. Maybe Janet wants to leave a note to remind herself to pull out the maracas. So she can leave a note in the overall comments section. Because this wasn't a session, there were no goals, so she can leave the goals section blank. But just for fun, I'm going to accidentally mark one of the goals as attention. Then, Janet went from preparing for a session for Susie to working on a community engagement event for a local art studio. She also wants to remind herself to reply to that pressing email. So how did I create the drop-down lists? I opened up a new tab and wrote out the options that I wanted to provide for each of the categories. Here you can see the lists of type of work, goals, interventions, number options, therapists, and facilities. After creating the list, I went to the cell where I want the drop-down to show, went to data validation, went back to my lists, chose list in allow, and highlighted the options that I wanted to display. I just repeated those steps for the therapist, the facility, and all of the goal information. At the bottom of the timesheet, we have a breakdown for the summary of hours. It's adding all of the hours together for just those specific categories. For community engagement, for example, it's only pulling hours for community engagement and adding those together. It's doing the same for each category. If I were to go back and change community engagement to session, you would see all of those hours are moved to sessions. I'm just using a simple sum-if statement to say if the label says that category, then add the hours together. I'm pulling this information from where I'm storing all of the data the therapist just entered. Here you can see that I have the data pulled from the timesheet tab for each day, and every day has the name of the therapist, the facility, and the date and time. I'm simply just putting an equal sign in the cell and telling it where to grab the information from where it was entered. The equal sign tells Excel that it needs to do something. For the time, I'm taking the times she entered, and in a separate column, I'm subtracting the hours to get the amount of time worked. The summary in the timesheet tab is pulling the times and adding them together from here. For the session data, I want to show you two different ways of storing the data. Here I have the goals as horizontal, so it's by day. The second way, I have the session data listed vertically with the dates and times repeating. This goes back to the purpose of what you're needing to capture and what you need the data to show from it. The vertical option is better for quicker data analysis. The horizontal option keeps the entire data set together. I do want to take a second to explain the formula I'm using here. Notice it's only capturing data if we labeled the time as a session and there was information from in the goals section. The formula is set up to only show if both conditions are met. Notice the attention goal we accidentally placed earlier is not showing up. If we go back and change non-direct patient care to session, we notice that the formula does capture the data in our data set. So why do all of this? It'll help you show where your time is going, what's happening with patients, and where to make improvements. By collecting the information, you will be able to see the patterns, and having all of the data captured will let you easily compile everything into one place by copy-pasting it into a master database. Well, I think that's going to be it for this video. In the next video, I want to show how to do some data analyses to help understand the patterns in the data and make decisions. Thank you for watching. If there's something that you're wanting to know more about or something that you think I can help with, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to do a video on that. If you found this video useful, please like it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that YouTube will tell you when they come out. And again, thanks for watching.